that black one and get them off.
Well, we are into day number 3, and we have a broken pipe here. So we had to bring this chopper all the way back from our furthest farm. I was going to weld on this, but Fitzy is grabbing one from Kaz Equipment. So it's this extension, this grass extension. We're going to go ahead and get it unbolted here and bolt in, lift it off and bolt in the one that they have for us. This is aluminum. I thought I was going to be welding it, but I've had a piece break out here. That's gone. And I had a couple of wads go through, and when the wads went through, I could see the pipe lift right up in the air. So I guess you could say we sent it a little too hard, right, Nathan?
I suppose.
Do you have a thought for today? We haven't been doing that here lately, so have you thought?
Let me think on it.
You're gonna think on it. You'll have to get back to us when we get this done here.
Yeah, I'll get back to you.
Okay. All right, so we got that all unbolted. Actually, I got one bolt left on my side. Let me get the forks in underneath there. And we've got one bolt left on the top. We'll go ahead and get the telehandler into place, and then we can lift that guy off of there. Alright, so obviously we've got that all lifted off of there, and yeah, there's not much left to this. This here is $2,500. And we just put a new camera on there, so we're gonna have to, yeah, figure out what we are gonna do here, whether we stay with that used one from Kaz or what. But at any rate, we need to unbolt the flipper extension off of here, and once we get that off in there and then the other one shows up, then we can bolt that to the used one. And yeah, so all right, we got everything that we need off of this for now. We just put this camera on here the other day. I don't know if it has the autofill camera on it, but we're not going to worry about that right now because I don't use that for haylage. And we'll set this off to the side. I don't know if it's worth fixing this or not, but we could worry about that at a later date. So we'll go ahead and carry this inside and wait for Fitzmeister to get back here, and we'll bolt our flipper extension onto the new pipe, or used pipe, new to us pipe. So here's all of our pieces right here. So aluminum, right? Aluminum. All right. Perfect, huh? It's open, you know. This thing's brand new. It's faded more than ours. All right, this one ain't in the greatest shape, but it's gonna do. Actually, we're just kidding here, but this is in like brand new condition. So we'll go ahead and get her plugged in. It looks like it's had a little bit of material run through it, but not much at all. So we'll put our extension on there and we'll get it bolted into place here and get this back to the field. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with this. I don't know why they have it, but maybe they put a higher, different arch spout on or something. But let's go ahead and get this back together. Alrighty, we are ready to roll out. Now I got an hour drive back to the field. We've got a couple of custom truckers sitting in place waiting. They pulled in just as I was pulling out to head back to the shop, but it made this job go a lot easier using the telehandler, and we would have been just twiddling our thumbs anyways, waiting for the machine to get there. So we're gonna go ahead and head to the field. Alex and Brad, along with Sarah, are torquing wheels over there, and we'll go ahead and hurry ourselves up here. Okay, so we are going to pick up right where we left off. I pulled into this field, had a couple of wads go through, and when they went through, I seen the pipe lift up. I was like, oh my God, what have I got going on here? So originally I thought I had just some bolts missing, but as it was all cracked. And yeah, so this should be a little tighter there. Yeah. So this hay here is, this is the Cleverly farm. And this hay's been down for like 4 days, 4 or 5 days. The day after we cut this, it started raining. And then we got quite a little bit of rain, and it was already wet over here as it was. And we were worried about not being able to get into this field. You seen in the last video, I'll throw a clip back in here, but the field that joins up to this one, part of the field is underwater right now, and yeah, so that's how wet it is over here. The neighbor said he's gotten about 10 inches of rain. He's just to the north here a little bit. He's gotten 10 inches of rain in the last, I don't know, 3 weeks. Boy, that pipe is a lot sturdier now than it was before. So this field here, this is the last cutting, or the last year for this as well. This was the first field on this farm that we seeded down with alfalfa. We've only owned this farm for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now. And yeah, so this alfalfa crop will be coming out, and this will be going into corn next year. You might be saying, boy, it kind of looks decent. Why are you plowing it under? Well, it's time for it to come out. And it's like getting rid of a good cow. When she is on her last year, she's no good. So we've got a couple of Newton's trucks here, and they have been sitting and waiting for me to get to the field. So we have a new seed piece on the other side of the road here, and that field there is where the wooden road goes across the field where they're working on the power lines, and we'll show you that here once we get over into that field. Now, I didn't want to get into this field chopping until a little later on because I wanted this ground to dry out over here. So I was into some hay that was cut 2 days ago. This morning we chopped 4 load, and we had to pull out, had Andrew come over to this field and start merging it. The hay that we started chopping this morning was 76% moisture. So this is falling right in around 60, 61. Protein's a little bit depleted compared to what we're usually used to seeing. But we are about 10 days late on this as far as getting it cut. We were 6, 7, 8 days later on the cutting date, and then it's been on the ground for 4 days. So I guess, wow, you can't count how many days it's been on the ground. But it's 6, 7, 8 days later than normal. So I've got Alex just about loaded here, and yeah, you can see that pipe is a different color yeller compared to the rest of the pipe on this. That would have been a real mess if that would have broken and cometh off. The wires probably would have held it just good enough to have it just come crashing down into one of the side panels on the chopper here. So other than that, everything's been working good on this chopper with the new knife drum and blower panels and what have you. Not paddles, panels. And we're just gonna keep after it here. The sun is shining nicely. The rain is now behind us. We chopped until 9 o'clock last night to get done where we were. It was drizzling rain the whole time while we were finishing up. However, that field, that farm, is on its last year for alfalfa as well. Therefore, we really didn't care how much we marked up the fields. This hay field on the other side of the road here, well, there's that one that we got to do. We got new seeding down there. That field across the road is a year behind, or a year ahead of the new seeding piece, but we're now treating it all as one field, and then the field on the other side of the road down to this following end here on the other side of them tractor trailers. That is a 2-year-old seeding. So, yeah, alrighty. Well, we have a gap in trucks, and Andrew has just moved into the last field over here that we have to do now. This is where that wooden road goes across the field where they're working on these power lines. The field that has all the water in it and corn there is that field right there in behind us. Now, this is one field, but we had to work it as two because obviously they've got this wooden bridge that goes across, or wooden road that goes across it. I was going to throw my drone up in the air, but I didn't have a way to control the controller. So on the other end of that wooden road, they have picked the road up. I don't know what they have left to do to these structures. I can't see that they've done anything. They might have put new wire up. However, you know, you can't tell. They had set this wooden road up back in, oh, like the end of March. So we've got corn on the other end there, or in the other field. And this wooden bridge is, of course, split that. I got into that field by going through the edge of this hay field, but we're not going to be able to get corn out through there. We're going to have to cross over that wooden road. Now we have a hay field down in over here on yonder, and Andrew said that we ain't going to be able to get trucks out of it. So I did drive down in here on my pickup yesterday morning, and I said, well, if we can hold off chopping this, it would be all that much better. And we might have to do this with dump wagons or do it with straight trucks and very carefully load them small, get them in and get them out of here. There is a spot where water runs underneath the driveway there. Yeah, we're gonna have to be very careful back in here. Tractor trailers are gonna have to stay out of here, but I wanted to see what it was like down in here a little ways. The first year we took hay off of this field, we did get a truck stuck down in the bottom. The trouble with this field is it's mostly shaded on this end, and it looks really greasy. We might have to come over and chop this tomorrow afternoon or something. But yeah, it is greasy. Yeah, this is not gonna be that fun in here. I'm gonna mark it up bad. Being that the sun can't get on it, so we might better come back and do this one tomorrow night, which is gonna suck because we're gonna be out of the area. But at any rate, if the ground can dry out a little more, we'll just let it dry out. I thought he was talking about the driveway here, but the driveway's not bad, other than we don't want to have a truck loaded too much and have it slide right into the dingweeds. And that's what we call dingweeds right there. Those are the dingweeds. So we had a gap in trucks, so I figured I'd take a ride on in here and see just how that looks, which it don't look too good. So yeah, we'll get back over to the other field. We'll just have to wait for a truck to get here. So Andrew's by himself merging. The oxbow merger is down. It needs a cam follower track on both heads. So that needs to be rebuilt. It would have been nice to have noticed that while we were kind of sitting still. But it should have made it the whole year as well. For the amount of acres that those go across, you wouldn't think that oxbow would be wore out in 2 years. I mean, this head on this chopper's got a lot more hours on it, although we did rebuild it last year. However, it didn't show any signs of wear here at all. So I don't know what they're using this crane here for, but the other day when I was here, well, it was yesterday morning, they had a forwarder that they were using to carry these wooden road pieces, which they're like 4 foot wide by, I don't know, 16 foot long. They had a bunch of them stacked up right there. They were probably 20 foot tall, the way they had them stacked. And I assume they were trucking them out of here, but they might be building platforms around those structures. Again, I don't see what they have been doing to them. Down farther, it looks like they replaced a wooden one with a metal one, but maybe, yeah, I don't know what they're doing to them. So we'll just get up on here, wait for a truck to get here. This piece just about done. We've got another piece on the other side of this cornfield here. Actually 2 pieces to do there. We're going to save that side hill. We'll come back in here in a couple days and get that. And we've got the field that Andrew was in. So we'll just keep on keeping on here. just show you what we're working with here. We had to get the dump wagon out to finish up a couple of these fields over here on this farm. Now we have a fair amount of hay to do on this farm. However, we're gonna wait a couple days before we get into it here. Andrew got into this field, he merged around the outside, and he says it's too wet, I gotta pull out. So that's what he did. We're just chopping up what he had merged here yesterday, and we're gonna walk on out of here, and we're gonna come back to it in a couple of days. It is just too wet in here. We had marked it up enough here, and we're gonna be done with this farm as far as what is on the ground here in a little bit, after I get this little bit of a windrow chopped and out of here. So we'll be moving on to the next farm here in a little while. We'll go ahead and let Fitzy get on out of here. Alright, I don't know what the camera ended up capturing from that last file, we're gonna call it, but we do have a little bit left in this field. Fitzy is pulled out with the dump wagon. We'll go ahead and get this chopped on to him, and then we're gonna head out to the other farm. I am getting a code here for active fill control fault because we do not have the active fill camera on the spout here. That would mount, oh, you can't quite see it from here, but at any rate, that would mount to the spout. We need to get the active fill camera off the old spout and get it onto this one. So we'll join up with you once we get to the Hudson farm. So we'll see you in a little bit. Well, we're gonna finish this video out here. I had some problems with the camera. We're actually into the following day. Some footage that I had from when we left that one farm where we were using the dump wagon, and to where we moved to that next farm, there was no audio with those video files. There was also no audio to the video files that was going to be in the next video. So I need to piecemeal that together. This morning, we started working on that Oxbow merger. Nate and Jared have got a good majority of that. Well, they've got it all tore apart now. We're just waiting for some parts that we should get here tomorrow morning. I guess the stuff will be here. We lack some bearings and whatever. So we're just a couple miles away from home here now, and you can see the conditions are a lot different than what you've seen in the earlier part of the video where we're dealing with a little bit of mud. Now, we only got maybe 2.5 inches out of that storm, whereas where we're using the dump wagon, they got upwards of 6 inches of rain, 6 to 7. This morning I ended up putting the active fill camera on the spout. The spout has been working perfectly. Now the active fill camera, the camera recognizes the perimeter of the box. You go into the display here. We can kind of show you that. I gotta go down here. Gotta go to applications. Go to video. And then we are with the active fill camera right now. So if I turn on, I got active fill turned on. I guess it doesn't want to work correctly. It must be too high up. There we go. So now it's working. So that will move the spout automatically back and forth. It recognizes how much is in the box. And if you want to take the lazy way out and have the chopper do all the work, you can go ahead. I don't use it that much just because I just want to be able to have control over what's going in the box. So we're just going to keep on keeping on here. I hope we're able to capture the audio on this part of the video, or what I'm videoing here now, and we're just going to have to figure out what problem I'm having, because there's nothing worse than going to look for a video, or a file rather, and you recognize that there's no audio attached to it. So with that being said, that is going to do it for this video. We're just going to keep on keeping on here, and yeah, so thanks for watching, folks. We will catch you the next one.